Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing good. Just putting a video out real quick about heating your house with firewood, specifically a forced air outside furnace. So one of the benefits of having an outside furnace is it's supposed to be a little bit safer as far as fire hazard, but I'd say that just depends on how well the fireplace or the inside stove and the outside furnaces. And the reason I say that is because there's ducts that connect and obviously go underneath the house. So if those caught fire when you're using forced air, it could still catch the house on fire in theory. If you use a radiant water system, then you wouldn't have that problem, and usually the furnaces are a little bit farther away because they're more efficient in carrying the heat across. But this one here is a forced air. It's very old. I got it for free from my parents. They used it for a number of years, and then they just stopped using it, and then I asked if I could have it, and they said I could have it. So I brought it to my house. You can see on the bottom is where the air comes in. I think it's like a 16-inch or an 18-inch duct, I'm not entirely sure. And then there's the top is where the air gets forced back into the house. So I can't show you the duct work underneath, but basically it just runs under my house, and I have one large input for the air to come in. It goes through an air filter, and then it comes around the firebox here outside, and it gets blown here on the top. And then on the inside, I have a set of, I don't know exactly what they're called. I guess they're just like vent valves, because they're just large ducts that you can open and close with like a small amount of low voltage. So it only uses like, I think 12 or 18 volts DC. And I just push a button inside and it opens and closes a duct. So whenever it's summertime, I'll have the duct closed, so there's no air coming in there from the furnace, and then the AC can run normally. And then in the winter time, I push a button and it opens and closes a duct, and then basically the air gets allowed into all my vents in my house. So I know it sounds kind of complicated, and you don't have to do all that, but that's how I easily kind of tapped into my pre-existing vent work. Was just the little vent valves cost a little bit of money, especially when you get the larger diameter ones. Well, in my opinion, it was worth it. I've had this furnace for about 7 years now, and I got the furnace for free, but I did have to pay for a few things, and it's well already paid for itself. The only things I don't like about it, one, with forced air, it's less efficient than radiant heat. Like if you use water and then you have insulated pipes basically that run in your house, and then like a radiator that comes off that heated water, that's more efficient. And I think that's what I want to have on my new house. I haven't entirely decided yet, but that's what I plan on, is using like a radiant heat system. So it is less efficient. I have a smaller house now, and it's not insulated well, so even with that, I still don't have to run the heater very much. I don't have to fill it up a lot with wood. Right now it's been kind of cold, so I have been running it kind of at its what I call its max capacity without forcing air into it. But I'll show you the inside now. So basically down below you got your ash pan down there, and then this little thing you spin in and out here is just a vent, and it'll allow air to go in through the ash box and into the fire, so it'll let it burn hotter. So usually if it's really cold, I'll just open that up all the way. Here's a fan that actually, or a blower that actually forces air in there and makes it burn hot. So if you have a thermostat in your house, which I do, and if you set it, you can set it to whatever temperature. So if it gets below like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll just trigger this fan to kick on and then force air in there to make it burn hotter. Now if you don't have wood in there, it'll just burn the wood out. So that's another thing that's unfortunate about having any kind of outside wood burner, unless it's a large one that takes a lot of capacity, is you'll have to go out and keep feeding it logs. And I don't think it's a big deal, but if you're not around the house all day, then I would say I mean, you're going to have to spend some time and research, probably invest in one that takes larger logs so you can just put in, you know, a load of logs once or twice a day and it'll burn all day. But like I said, this is a pretty old unit. I've had it already for 7 years. My parents ran it for a number of years. I can't even get parts for it anymore because I had some parts go out on the circuit board, and when I called the company, they said they no longer made this anymore. So there's, once some of the pieces on the circuit board go out, unfortunately, I'll basically be out. I won't be able to use this anymore. But so far, I've been able to repair it. Here's how I've been getting my wood back here this year. I've just been loading it up in these large totes, and then bringing it actually all the way from the forest, just setting it right here next to the furnace so I don't have to do much work. And there's so many dead trees out in the woods, between dead elms and dead ash trees, that I'm basically just cleaning up out there. Trying to think if there's anything else with this furnace I wanted to talk about. I guess I can just show inside the firebox here. See, I don't have a huge fire in here today. It's getting a little warmer. Like it's actually about freezing right now. But like I said, my house is so small, and even though it's inefficient, this furnace it has no problem heating my house. So with that, if anybody's thinking about, you know, getting a furnace, I definitely recommend it, as long as you got the time and to go out and get the wood, and then also to keep the fire going. And as far as a forced air one, though, I'd definitely look into maybe something different. The only reason I would get a forced air is if you're just trying to do something maybe and save some money, and you can do it a little bit quicker, I think. But I could be wrong on that too. But other than that, like I would just get a radiant heat that heats the water up and then goes inside. So with that, I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll talk to everyone later.